Okay, so the next part for your Desk Tidy CAD is creating a working drawing. So to be able to do the working drawing, you must have completely finished watching this video and have made all three parts to this Desk Tidy bit here. So make sure you've done that first, and when you have, we're going to create a working drawing by converting that 3D design into the working drawing. So working drawings are basically drawings you would give to a company, a factory, a engineer, so that they can physically make the object that you have designed. But obviously they're not magical or psychic. They don't know how big all of the parts are or how they fit together. So you have to give them that information. A working drawing has all of that information on for them, so that's why you need to be able to make them. Now on Inventor, it's a lot more accurate. It's also a lot quicker if you've already drawn it up as a 3D design than doing it by hand. So CAD really does help us here. Okay, so make sure you've got this file open and then go File, New, Drawing. It'll take a moment to load, but it'll come up with a new blank page. Literally looks like a piece of paper. You're going to click on Base, and we're going to find the right view. I don't want that view as the base. If we turn it round like this, you can see it turns that round too. So that's the top view, we don't want that. Go. There we go. So that's what we're going to use as the base. So I'm going to drag that into the corner and then left click. Once you've left clicked, you can actually go around the page. Now it's really faint, but if you look carefully, can you see, following my mouse, there's a little dotted line with a dotted green box? What you're going to do is to click again. Now what you'll see there is it's given me a side view, and it's exactly parallel with the view that we've already put there for the front. So we want the front, we want the side view to the side of it, obviously, and then we're going to go above and we're going to put a top view on top. So look where your little box is appearing, and left click again. Now that is your three views for your working drawing. That sort of working drawing is called an orthographic drawing. It has to be arranged with these three exact views in this L shape for it to count as an orthographic drawing. You might be asked about that on your exam. Another type of working drawing, as well as the orthographic one, is isometric. That's the one that you drew by hand before. You can create that on here. Can you see over to the side? I've got this big box. If you go up into the corner here and click, it also gives you the isometric, and I think it looks quite nice having all of those on there for your working drawing. Now if you right click and go on OK, it converts it into these lines for you. So it literally looks like a drawing. We're going to then add dimensions on for our manufacturer. So we're going to click on Annotate, Dimension, and we're going to drag some lines around. So we have got the base of the wood there. So that's 90, so we'll add that onto the bottom. Click OK. We've got the height of the wood. I'll zoom in a bit for you. There we go, so that's showing it's 15 high. Remember, this is all in millimeters. So that is the thickness and the width of that material. We also want to give them the depth of the material. There we go, so that was 90 as well. So add that on there. Not only can you give them the 3 dimensions that make it 3D, but you can also add fancy bits on, like this curve. to show them how big the radius is, and they can see that it's a radius of 10, so that was a 10mm curve that we added round there. We'll add our dimensions to our pencil holes as well. Now you'll see that says 8, and instead of having an R for the radius, it's got a circle with a line through it. That is diameter, that's all the way across the circle basically. Now there is something called British standards, which is what we have to supply to a manufacturer for them to make our product. British standards is a way of us making sure that we are showing the manufacturer the measurements in the correct way. So for example, can you see the side of the 90? It's got this line with arrows at the end that touches a line parallel with the wood. That shows us exactly which distance is 90, and we know that it's always in millimeters. Those are British standard way of viewing it, much like having an R or having the little circle with the line through. It's just a set of rules that we have to follow when adding measurements. Okay, so more measurements. We could add the thickness of the acrylic if we zoom in. A bit difficult with it being so small. Just going to do that. That was a Now, if you want to get rid of one, you could just right click OK and then left click and press delete. So I obviously don't want that silly thing there. There we go. There we go. So that is showing 3mm now. I just need to zoom in. So we've got the height of the acrylic. So, oh look, that's interesting. That's a bit of a weird number that I ended up with. That's obviously where I did my little wavy line there. So we've got that, and then we've got the distance of the acrylic there, which is obviously the same as the distance from left to right on the wooden base. Now, the only thing we haven't marked up is the notepad holder. So if we go up to this top view here, there we go. So we've got the outside dimension. There we go, there. But we've also got the internal dimensions where we cut out the insides. And then we want to have the height of the box. Go on to this one. We'll add the height of the box. We put it in line with the other measurements we've got. It'll be nice and neat then. There we go. So that's basically got all of the measurements on that we want. And we could give that to a manufacturer and they should be able to make it for us. So when you've got that far, you need to save this drawing into your folder and then put a snip of this finished work onto your space on the Inventor CAD drawing page on OneNote for me, please. Well done.